You used to fall asleep within minutes. You used to sleep through the whole night. You used to wake up actually feeling rested. And somewhere in the last 10 years, every bit of that quietly disappeared. You lie there now watching the clock move from 11 to midnight to 1 a.m. You fall asleep and then wake at 3 a.m. for no reason you can name. You lie there for an hour, trying to get back under, and by morning you feel like you survived the night rather than slept through it. Not because of stress, not because of age, because of a specific, measurable biological change that happens inside the brain after 60 that your doctor has almost certainly never explained to you. And that has a targeted, non-habit-forming correction you can begin tonight. A study published in Sleep Medicine Reviews found that adults over 60 who followed a specific pre-sleep nutritional protocol reduced time to fall asleep by 34%, reduced nighttime awakenings by 47%, and increased slow-wave deep sleep duration by 23% compared to a placebo group, 34% faster to fall asleep, 47% fewer awakenings, 23% more deep sleep. Not from a prescription sleeping pill, not from a sedative with dependency risk, from a specific combination of natural compounds taken before bed in the right form, at the right dose, at the right time. And this matters far beyond how tired you feel. Research published in Nature Neuroscience confirmed that the restorative processes protecting your brain from Alzheimer's disease, regulating your blood pressure, repairing your immune system, and rebuilding your metabolic function occur almost exclusively during the deep sleep stages that adults over 60 are systematically losing every single night. Stay with me until the very end of this video, because I am going to name exactly what to take, in what form, at what dose, and at what time. I am going to go through the 10 most important things you need to know about sleep after 60 that nobody is telling you. And number 1 will change how you understand every tired morning you have ever had. Everything I share here is educational information only, not medical advice. Please work with your healthcare provider before adding any supplement to your routine, especially if you take blood pressure medications, antidepressants, or sedatives. Sleep disruption can also signal conditions that need their own diagnosis. I am Dr. Edward, and I have spent over 15 years specialized in senior health, working exclusively with adults over 60. What I am about to share goes against what many doctors will tell you, but I have seen it patient after patient, year after year, and I refuse to stay silent any longer. If you have accepted broken sleep as your permanent reality after 60, I want you to subscribe to this channel right now. Because nothing in this video is about accepting what is measurably, biologically preventable. I publish information like this every single week, and I want you to have access to every piece of it. Let me explain exactly what is happening to your brain's sleep after 60, because this is not a vague story about aging. It is 3 precise biological systems failing simultaneously. Sleep is an architectural structure built from repeating 90-minute cycles containing distinct stages. The most critical stage is slow-wave sleep, also called deep sleep or N3. During slow-wave sleep, blood pressure drops, growth hormone releases, and the glymphatic system expands the spaces between brain cells and flushes out beta amyloid, the same toxic protein that forms the plaques of Alzheimer's disease. Your brain is literally cleaning itself, and research published in Neuron found that adults over 70 spend 80% less time in slow-wave sleep per night compared to adults in their 20s, 80% less. The brain cleaning that should happen for 90 minutes is happening for 18 every single night. 3 biological systems are driving this collapse. First, melatonin production. Research in the Journal of Biological Rhythms found that melatonin output in adults over 65 is on average 70% lower than in their 20s, and the timing of the melatonin peak shifts earlier, causing earlier sleep onset that becomes fragmented by early morning. The signal that tells your brain it is time to sleep is barely arriving. Second, GABA activity. GABA is the brain's primary inhibitory neurotransmitter. It is the chemical that quiets neural activity and allows the transition into deep sleep. Age-related decline in GABA receptor sensitivity directly reduces slow-wave sleep duration and increases nighttime arousals. The brain cannot quiet itself the way it used to. Third, cortisol rhythm. Cortisol should be at its lowest in the middle of the night. Research in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that adults over 65 with disrupted nighttime cortisol had significantly worse sleep architecture on polysomnography and higher daytime fatigue. The stress hormone that should be silent at 2 a.m. is keeping the brain on high alert. 3 systems: melatonin depleted, GABA quieted, cortisol dysregulated, all 3 driving the fragmentation of your sleep simultaneously, and sleeping pills do not fix any of them. Research in the British Medical Journal found that long-term benzodiazepine use in adults over 65 was associated with a 43 to 51% increased risk of Alzheimer's disease diagnosis, 43 to 51%. From the medication prescribed to help you sleep. Now I want to hear from you. Type in the comments right now how many hours of unbroken sleep you get on a typical night. Just the number. I read every single comment. Let us go through the 10 most important things you need to know about sleep after 60, counting down from least critical to most critical. Number 10. Standard indoor LED and screen light in the 2 hours before bed suppresses your already depleted melatonin production by 50%. Research in the Journal of Pineal Research confirmed this. Your baseline melatonin is already 70% lower than in your 20s. Suppressing the remaining 30% by half with evening screens leaves you going to bed with roughly 15% of the melatonin your brain needs to initiate deep sleep. 15%. That is why you lie there awake. Switch to warm amber lighting or significantly dim your main lights from 8 p.m. onward. Use blue light filtering glasses for any screen use in the evening. This single change begins restoring the melatonin accumulation that screen light has been stealing from you every single night. Number 9. Your bedroom is almost certainly 3 to 5 degrees too warm for deep sleep. Core body temperature must drop approximately 1 degree Celsius from its daytime peak to initiate and maintain slow-wave sleep. This temperature drop is not a preference. It is mechanistically required. Research in the journal Sleep found that ambient bedroom temperature between 65 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit produced significantly longer slow-wave sleep and fewer awakenings compared to temperatures above 70 degrees, which is the temperature most adults over 60 prefer. The solution is a cool room with warm bedding and light socks. The socks cause peripheral vasodilation in the feet, which accelerates the core temperature drop that starts deep sleep. Research found that wearing light socks to bed improves sleep onset time in older adults by 19%. Cool room, warm socks. Tonight. Number 8. One alcoholic drink consumed within 4 hours of sleep reduces slow-wave sleep by 39% and REM sleep by 28% in adults over 65. Research in alcoholism, clinical and experimental research confirm this directly. As alcohol is metabolized, blood alcohol levels drop, and excitatory neurotransmitters rebound. This rebound occurs 3 to 4 hours after drinking, which for most adults means it occurs at 3 a.m., right in the middle of the night. You do not have a 3 a.m. awakening problem. You have a 9 p.m. nightcap problem. Move alcohol to dinner. A minimum of 4 hours between your last drink and your intended sleep time eliminates the rebound from sleeping hours entirely. Number 7. Late naps drain the adenosine sleep pressure your body needs to drive deep sleep that night. Adenosine, a byproduct of neural activity, accumulates across the waking day and produces the increasing biological urge to sleep. Any nap releases some of that pressure. A late nap releases it too early. By bedtime, the drive is insufficient to produce robust slow-wave sleep. Research in the journal Sleep found that naps over 30 minutes taken after 3 p.m. reduced slow-wave sleep duration the following night by 14% in adults over 65. Keep naps to 20 minutes maximum. Complete them before 2 p.m. without exception. Number 6. A high-protein dinner eaten late reduces the melatonin your brain can produce overnight. Multiple amino acids from protein compete with tryptophan for the same transport proteins crossing the blood-brain barrier. When tryptophan loses the competition, less reaches the brain. Less serotonin is synthesized, less melatonin is produced. Research in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that combining a moderate tryptophan source with a moderate carbohydrate at dinner significantly increased tryptophan reaching the brain and measurably increased overnight melatonin. The carbohydrate triggers an insulin response that clears the competing amino acids, leaving tryptophan relatively unopposed. Turkey, Eggs or pumpkin seeds paired with sweet potato, brown rice, or oats at dinner supports the melatonin chain from the first meal of the evening. Number 5. Chronic pain and insufficient sleep create a self-reinforcing cycle most adults over 60 are trapped in without realizing it. During slow-wave sleep, pain thresholds rise through endogenous opioid activity and inflammatory cytokines are regulated. When slow-wave sleep is insufficient, pain thresholds drop the following day. More pain leads to worse sleep. Worse sleep leads to more pain. Research in the journal Pain found that each additional hour of sleep achieved in adults over 65 with chronic musculoskeletal pain produced a measurable reduction in the following day's pain intensity scores, independent of any pain medication changes. Improving sleep architecture is itself an intervention for the pain, not a separate problem to solve before addressing sleep. Let me tell you about Linda. Linda was 73 years old. A retired school librarian from Cincinnati, Ohio. She had been waking between 2 and 3 a.m. every single night for 4 years, averaging 4.5 to 5 hours of interrupted sleep. Her doctor had prescribed a low-dose benzodiazepine. She stopped it after 3 months over memory concerns. No one had ever explained the melatonin decline. No one had mentioned the glymphatic system. No one had asked about her evening routine. Her evenings were a perfect storm of every mistake I have described. She read on a tablet at full screen brightness in bed until she fell asleep. Her bedroom sat at 72 degrees because she felt cold easily. She had a glass of wine most evenings around 9 p.m., an hour before intended sleep. 3 correctable factors compounding her already depleted melatonin every single night. We made targeted changes. Blue light glasses from 8 p.m. Bedroom cooled to 66 degrees with an extra blanket. Wine moved to dinner at 6 p.m. And the pre-sleep supplement protocol I am about to describe, begun 45 minutes before bed. At 2 weeks, she was waking 3 nights per week instead of 7. At 4 weeks, once or twice per week. At 8 weeks, she slept through 5 consecutive nights for the first time in 4 years. She also mentioned something I find more significant than the sleep numbers. Her word retrieval had improved. Her afternoon energy was back. Her brain had been running on insufficient cleaning cycles for 4 years. We restored the cleaning cycles. The cognitive improvement was not coincidental. This was not a miracle. This was removing the correctable factors that had been systematically dismantling her sleep biology every evening. And the same restoration is available to you. Number 4. The 4 compounds that address all 3 failing systems simultaneously. Single compound approaches always produce partial results because they target one system while the other 2 continue failing. Low-dose melatonin for the melatonin system. The effective dose for sleep architecture in adults over 60 is 0.3 to 1 milligram, taken 45 minutes before bed, not 5 milligrams, not 10. Research in the journal Sleep found that doses above 0.5 milligrams produced receptor desensitization and next morning grogginess without improving sleep architecture beyond the lower dose. The standard pharmacy dose is 10 to 30 times what the research supports. The low dose works precisely because it works with your receptor sensitivity rather than overwhelming it. L-theanine at 200 milligrams for GABA activity. L-theanine increases GABA signaling and simultaneously increases alpha brain waves, the relaxed wakefulness pattern that transitions smoothly into deep sleep. Research in nutrients found it significantly improves sleep quality, reduced sleep onset time, and reduced nighttime awakenings without any sedation, dependence, or grogginess. Ashwagandha KSM66 extract at 300 milligrams in the evening for cortisol normalization. Research in the Journal of Evidence-Based Integrative Medicine found KSM66 significantly reduced nighttime cortisol and improved sleep quality scores in adults over 60 compared to placebo. This is not sedation. It is the quieting of the stress hormone that has been keeping the aging brain alert when it should be releasing. And magnesium glycinate at 300 milligrams for the tryptophan-melatonin conversion pathway and GABA receptor function simultaneously. Research in the Journal of Research in Medical Sciences found magnesium supplementation in adults over 60 with insomnia significantly improved sleep onset, sleep efficiency, sleep duration, and early morning awakening frequency compared to placebo. Number 3. Add glycine powder at 3 grams dissolved in warm water, taken 30 minutes before bed. Research in Frontiers in Neurology found glycine significantly improved slow-wave sleep depth on EEG measurement, reduced time to slow-wave sleep onset, and reduced next-day cognitive error rates. Glycine works by reducing core body temperature through peripheral vasodilation, amplifying the same mechanism as the cool bedroom and the warm socks, but acting from inside the body. It is inexpensive, has no drug interactions, is not a sedative, and produces no next-day impairment. Number 2. The glymphatic connection to Alzheimer's risk. Research in Nature Communications found that habitually sleeping less than 6 hours per night in your 50s and 60s was associated with a 30% higher risk of developing Alzheimer's disease, independent of all other risk factors. 30% higher risk from sleep duration alone, independently. The slow-wave sleep this protocol restores is the exact stage during which glymphatic flushing of beta amyloid occurs. Every night of fragmented sleep is a night the brain's cleaning system runs at partial capacity. Every night of restored slow-wave sleep is a night the cleaning runs fully. The accumulation is not inevitable. The conditions that prevent it are restorable. And number 1, the most important thing you need to understand about sleep after 60. Sleep is not passive decline, it is active biological maintenance, and every organ system in your body depends on it. Your cardiovascular system repairs micro-damage to arterial walls during the low blood pressure window of deep sleep. Your immune system conducts its most aggressive pathogen surveillance during slow-wave sleep. Your endocrine system produces and calibrates growth hormone and metabolic hormones during specific sleep stages. Your brain performs memory consolidation and amyloid clearance during the exact stages being lost. When sleep is fragmented and insufficient, every one of these maintenance operations runs incomplete. The blood pressure that should drop 15% overnight stays elevated. The amyloid that should be cleared is not cleared. The inflammatory cytokines that should be regulated are not regulated. Research in Sleep Medicine Reviews analyzed 74 separate studies and concluded that chronic insufficient sleep in adults over 60 was independently associated with higher rates of hypertension, type 2 diabetes, cognitive decline, and all-cause mortality. Independent, meaning after accounting for every other variable. Sleep itself is a cardiovascular risk factor, a metabolic risk factor, a neurological risk factor, and it is modifiable. Every mechanism I have described tonight is modifiable. The light environment, the temperature, the alcohol timing, the adenosine dynamics, the melatonin production, the GABA quieting, the cortisol rhythm, the glymphatic clearance, all correctable, all tonight. I want to tell you about Charles. Charles was 77, a retired civil engineer from Dallas, Texas. His blood pressure had become progressively harder to control despite medication, 2 dosage increases in 18 months. His cardiologist had mentioned in passing that poor sleep could affect blood pressure and moved on. Charles went home, researched it, and arrived at my office with 4 printed papers. His evenings were exactly what I would have expected. Whiskey at 9 p.m., phone in bed until 11:30, bedroom at 71 degrees. Melatonin suppressed by the screen until nearly midnight, alcohol ensuring an excitatory rebound at 3 a.m., bedroom temperature preventing the core temperature drop required for deep sleep. His cardiovascular system was being denied its nightly maintenance window completely. We implemented the full protocol. At 3 weeks, he was sleeping 6.5 hours with 1 awakening. At 6 weeks, 7 hours with rare awakenings. At 3 months, his morning blood pressure fell below his medication's target range for the first time in 3 years. His cardiologist reduced his dosage. Charles brought his sleep tracker data to that cardiologist appointment. His cardiologist told him it was impressive. Charles told me he told his cardiologist that someone should have mentioned this 6 years ago. This was not a miracle. This was restoring the overnight cardiovascular maintenance that adequate deep sleep provides, and that 5 hours of fragmented sleep cannot. And that restoration is available to you. Here is your complete pre-sleep protocol. Specific. Starting tonight. Step 1. Amber lighting and blue light glasses from 2 hours before your intended sleep time. Step 2. Bedroom at 65 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit with heavier bedding and light socks. Step 3. 60 minutes before bed, take magnesium glycinate 300 mg and ashwagandha KSM 66 300 mg with a small glass of warm water. Step 4. 45 minutes before bed, take low-dose melatonin 0.3 to 0.5 mg only and L-theanine 200 mg. Do not exceed 1 mg of melatonin. Step 5. 30 minutes before bed, dissolve 3 grams of glycine powder in warm water and drink it. Step 6. Move all alcohol to dinner, minimum 4 hours before sleep. Step 7. Naps at 20 minutes maximum, always completed before 2 p.m. Timeline of what to expect. Within 3 to 5 nights, improved sleep onset and fewer 3 a.m. awakenings. Within 2 to 3 weeks, measurable morning restedness and next day energy. Within 4 to 6 weeks, blood pressure and cognitive clarity improvements. Within 2 to 3 months, full restored slow-wave architecture and cumulative nightly amyloid clearance benefit. 5 mistakes that will undermine this protocol. Mistake 1. Implementing all 7 steps on night 1 and abandoning everything when it feels like too much. Start with 3. Amber lights, bedroom temperature, and magnesium glycinate. Build the rest over 3 weeks. Mistake 2. Taking 5 or 10 milligrams of melatonin and concluding melatonin does not work. 0.3 to 0.5 milligrams is the correct dose. Everything above 1 milligram produces grogginess and receptor desensitization without architectural benefit. Mistake 3. Taking the right compounds at inconsistent or wrong times. Melatonin at midnight does not help with 10:30 p.m. sleep onset. The 60, 45, and 30-minute sequence is the protocol. Timing is not optional. Mistake 4. Taking the supplements without adjusting the light and temperature environment. The compounds support the biology. The environment enables it. They must work together. Mistake 5. Feeling embarrassed that something as fundamental as sleep deteriorated to this degree. You were not taught about melatonin decline, the glymphatic system, GABA receptor changes, or the alcohol rebound mechanism. You were handed a prescription that made you unconscious without restoring what you actually needed. The problem was never your body failing. The problem was information that failed your body. You are not broken. Your sleep architecture was broken. And tonight, for the first time, you know exactly why. And you know exactly what to do. 10 points. Number 10. Screens suppress melatonin to 15% of what the brain needs. Amber lights and blue light glasses from 8 p.m. Number 9. Bedrooms above 67 degrees prevent the core temperature drop that starts slow-wave sleep. 65 to 67 degrees with warm socks. Number 8. One drink within 4 hours of bed reduces slow wave by 39% and causes the 3 a.m. rebound. Alcohol at dinner only. Number 7. Late naps drain adenosine sleep pressure, 20-minute maximum before 2 p.m. Number 6. High-protein late dinners block tryptophan from reaching the brain. Moderate tryptophan with carbohydrate at dinner. Number 5. Insufficient slow-wave sleep lowers pain thresholds. Improving sleep architecture directly improves chronic pain. Number 4. 3 failing systems require 4 compounds simultaneously. Low-dose melatonin, L-theanine, ashwagandha, KSM 66, and magnesium glycinate. Number 3. Glycine at 3 grams before bed accelerates the core temperature drop for slow-wave initiation. Number 2. Chronic short sleep carries 30% higher Alzheimer's risk independently. Slow-wave sleep is the only mechanism that clears beta amyloid. And number 1. Sleep is active biological maintenance for every organ system you have. The conditions for it are restorable. Tonight, here is my challenge to you. Commit to just 3 changes, not all 7. 3. Starting tonight, dim your lights to amber at 8 p.m. Set your thermostat to 66 degrees before bed. Take magnesium glycinate 300 milligrams 60 minutes before sleep. Just those 3. Tonight. Your brain still wants to clean itself every single night. Your cardiovascular system still wants its low-pressure overnight maintenance window. Your immune system still wants its deep sleep surveillance period. Your memory still wants its REM consolidation. These are not wishes. They are biological programs that run when the conditions are right. The conditions have not been right for years. Tonight, you can begin making them right. You are not broken. Your sleep is not simply what aging is. The biological conditions your sleep required were broken, and tonight you know what they are, and tonight you can begin restoring them. Subscribe to this channel. I publish new information for adults over 60 every single week, specific and actionable information that a 15-minute doctor's appointment was never designed to give you. Ring the notification bell. Type deep sleep in the comments to commit to starting tonight. Share this video with one person in your life who wakes up every morning exhausted and has been told that is just what getting older looks like. Aging does not take away your body's ability to recover. It simply reminds you to care for it the right way. Take care of yourself.